In World War II, most submarine commanders were cold, ruthless, and terrifying. But then there was Salvatore Todaro, the guy who apparently thought he was auditioning for Mr. Rogers. Under the sea, here's what happened. In 1940, Todaro was commanding the Comandante Capellini, a big Italian sub in the Atlantic. One night, he torpedoes a Belgian freighter called the Caballo. Textbook mission, the ship goes down. But instead of vanishing into the night like every other sub-commander, Todaro notices the survivors in lifeboats and goes, "Hey, can't just leave them there. Hop on in." And I don't mean a couple of guys, he crammed 26 enemy sailors onto his submarine. A space already so tight the crew was basically playing underwater sardines. Imagine trying to run a war patrol while also hosting a sleepover for the people you just sank. Command back in Italy, absolutely furious. They're sending him messages like, "Salvatore, this is a submarine, not a cruise ship. Stop picking up hitchhikers." But Todaro doubled down. Not long after, he sank another freighter and once again rescued its entire crew, even towing lifeboats hundreds of miles until they could be dropped off safely. This wasn't just reckless kindness, it was dangerous. Every hour he spent babysitting survivors was an hour his sub could have been spotted, bombed, or sunk. But Todaro didn't care. He believed that even in war, there was something called honor. His exact words were basically, "We are Italian sailors, not pirates. We sink ships, but we don't let men drown." The man had more chivalry than common sense. His crew loved him, enemy survivors respected him, and his superiors just kind of shook their heads like, why is our deadliest submarine also running a rescue service? And that's why history remembers him as the Don Quixote of the sea. The only submarine commander who could torpedo your ship, invite you aboard, hand you dinner, and then tell you to enjoy the rest of your evening. Todaro didn't survive the war, but his legend did. And even decades later, people still talk about the commander who managed to turn a brutal Atlantic campaign into a bizarre mix of combat and compassion.